everybody, I'm back with another video, and this video is going to be the answers to your questions that you had for the work from home question and answer video. This video is probably going to be pretty long, so I definitely recommend that you get some snacks or skip to your question, but I'm going to try to answer everybody's questions. I did get quite a few questions. There are like 25 comments, but a lot of people had like more than one question, so I'm gonna try to answer everybody's questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into it. One question that I did get a lot is people asking, what do I do from home and my schedule and all that type of stuff, how much I make and all of that. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys how much I make. That is a little bit personal, but I will tell you guys what I do, okay? So for me, I work from home, but I work as an employee only 4 months out of the year doing scoring for 2 different companies. Now, scoring is when you score standardized test responses from students all across the country. So I do that 4 months out of the year. I do that from November to January, and then I do it from April to June, okay? Now, that's 4 months out of the year. The rest of the year, I'm an independent contractor. I do mystery shopping full-time, YouTube full-time, and I also do surveys as well, okay? And if I see like another seasonal job that I can do in between the time that won't interfere with scoring, I'll go ahead and take that and do that as well. So that is pretty much what I do. Now, as far as like why I started working from home, I'll go ahead and tell you guys my story. I started working from home. It's as simple as it gets because my children needed me. Like, my children needed me. I had just gotten divorced. I'm remarried now, but at the time I had just gotten divorced. My children were teenage ages, they were like 15, 14, and 12, and they were at ages where they could really get into a lot of stuff, and I wasn't really in a position to be able to really be hands-on with them like I feel like you should be when your children, you should be with your children anyway, but you definitely should be when they're teenagers. And there were situations happening where my oldest son was getting into trouble. My youngest son was losing his key, and the apartment complex would call and say, you know, your son's locked out. We'll go ahead and give him the key, but we can't keep doing this. And at the time, I was working in banking, and it would be very frustrating to be getting calls and stuff like that while you're at work, and you're not really in a position to do anything about it. You can't just leave work. You can't, you know, call out. You have to be there, but at the same time, your family needs you as well. So at the time, I believe I was making about $12 an hour, and I was like, there has to be a way that I can make this little bit amount of money an hour and not have to sacrifice as much. And so that's when I kind of started talking about what I wanted to do, and that's when someone told me about Liveops, you know, and then I just basically just added everything up and kind of crunched the numbers and try to see how it will work out. And from the looks of it, it appeared that it would be a better decision for me and my family to start working from home, and that's a decision that I made, and I believe it was either 2011 or 2012, and it's changed my life. It's been super beneficial to me. My boys, who were in their early teens at that time, are now, you know, in their, you know, late teens and early 20s, and they're, you know, they're doing really well. They're successful. And, you know, there's a lot of things that they were not able to get into, and I attribute that to me working from home and me being able to be at home and be able to be hands-on with them. So that is why I started working from home. I absolutely love what I do. I love scoring, and I love being an independent contractor and having the freedom and flexibility to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it on my terms. And it's been like that probably for the past 3 years now, but prior to that, I was an employee, and I worked quite a few work from home jobs as an employee, okay? As far as my schedule, when I am scoring, I work from 8:30 to 12 with one company, and then with the other company, I can work anytime I want in between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. So I can pretty much do whatever I want to do. It's Monday through Friday. I can pretty much work for what suits me as long as I'm working within those hours. And of course, I can work up to 40 hours a week with each of the positions. So during the months that I'm scoring, it's really lucrative for me because I can work both jobs at the same time. If I wanted to, I could work up to 80 hours within a week's time between both of the jobs. So it's really a good time of year for me because, you know, I'm making extra, it's actually extra money because all of my other side hustles and forms of income, pay my bills and everything. And so when I'm scoring, that's extra money for me, and it's definitely a really happy time of year for me. Okay, so that's how it goes as far as my schedule. I do have a home office. I call it the woman cave, and this is where I film my videos and I work. I would show you guys a picture, but it's really messy in here because I am filming videos at the same time. But yes, I do have a home office. It's important that you have an area in your home where you work that's separate from where you relax, because it wasn't always that way for me. Prior to me getting married, when I lived in an apartment, I worked in the same room that I actually slept, and I found that I was not able to really unwind and relax because I was always thinking about working. So yes, I do have a home office. As far as what type of computer I do have a 27-inch iMac, and the last few years I've used Mac products, but earlier in my work from home career, I did have an HP computer, an HP laptop, and it took me through a lot of work from home jobs. Okay, so I'll definitely give you guys more information about that. And if you're interested in purchasing that laptop, there's going to be a link for you in the description bar. But now I do have a Mac. It's compatible with, you know, the work from home jobs that I do, and the work from home jobs that I've done over the past maybe 5 years. So yeah, it's definitely been good for me. And I have a desk, and I have a desk chair and all of that type of stuff as well. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the other questions that people had. And one of the first questions is, where would you suggest someone start that has a full-time job and trying to work from home part-time, but they want to slowly stop working full-time outside the home and start working full-time at home? Okay, so that's a really, really good question, and it's actually surprising to me that I've never talked about this company on my channel, and it's actually how I got started working from home. But in a situation like that, I would say that you start with a company called Liveops. Okay, now that's the first company that I started working with when I worked from home. Liveops is a company where you would be an independent contractor. You would take customer service calls at your own convenience. You can work any schedule that you want to work. And because it's like a 24/7 type thing, you can work any schedule that you want to work. You can pick which accounts you want to work. So let's just say you want to take calls for Allstate, or you want to take calls for the Carnival Cruise Line. You can pick what you want to take calls for. You will get paid per talk minute, so you're only going to be getting paid for the time that you're on the phone. I don't remember when the pay periods were. I believe they were like the 15th and the 30th, something like that. This was several years ago, but you would get paid around the 15th and the 30th or something like that. And like I said, you would get paid per talk minute. So to answer your question, I would definitely suggest that someone start at Liveops if they already work full-time and they're trying to transition and work from home part-time, because you can do it when you want to do it. It's super easy. The only thing is you just have to make sure that you're following protocol, that you're doing well on your calls, because if not, they can drop you. And you know, they can drop you from a certain client or whatever, and they can eventually just drop you, period. So you definitely have to make sure that you're doing a good job with them. The only thing with Liveops is, you know, you would have to pay for your background check, because it is an independent contractor position. You would have to pay for your background check. It's non-refundable whether you pass or you don't pass. The reason for that is because you could also take calls for infomercials, and when you're doing that, you're going to be getting customers' credit card information, their personal information, and they just want to make sure that they're working with people who have not been in any type of trouble or fraud or anything like that. So that's the reason for the background check. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the background check might have been like between $34 and $50, but it was definitely a minimum of $30 back then when I paid for my background check. So yeah, Liveops is definitely a company that you could start with if you're trying to transition into working from home. And also Liveops is definitely a company that is really good to have on your resume, because it gives you that work from home experience that a lot of the companies are looking for you to have without you have working a full-time work from home position. Okay, so that answers that question. Now, as far as any suggestions for introverts, you know, that would definitely be any type of non-phone position, a position where you don't really have to interact with a lot of people. So I would definitely recommend scoring or data entry or any type of non-phone work from home job where you don't really have to talk or interact with people. Of course, with scoring, you do have to have a bachelor's degree in any field to work in scoring, because it is in the education field. So you do have to have a bachelor's degree but with data entry and things like that, you don't need to have any type of degree for that. Those would be the type of positions that I recommend for introverts. They're also asking about non-customer service work, which I just gave a few examples. And are there any work from home jobs that don't require a landline? Like I said, I just said quite a few of those: data entry, scoring. Also, what kind of computer, laptop, tablet, or headset would you suggest that would fit the bill for 99% of work at home jobs? I actually have a page on my website which actually tells you guys the equipment that would fit most of the work from home jobs. All of that equipment I've used, so I definitely stand by it. I'll link that page to my website in the description bar and you can definitely check it out. But it's definitely a Dell, it's an HP laptop, and you have your Plantronic headsets. That's most of the time what the work from home companies are going to ask for. What's the best internet connection for most work from home jobs? The best internet connection is broadband. You can have Wi-Fi, that's fine, but you have to be able to, for most work from home jobs that require you to speak to people, you have to be able to hardwire your internet connection, which is basically taking the Ethernet cable and putting it from your computer to the box, and you should be able to do that even if you use Wi-Fi most of the time. As long as you have a broadband internet connection, that is something that you should be able to do. As far as a desk, you know, I got my desk at Walmart many years ago. I believe it was $40. I've upgraded since then, but I'll definitely leave a link to an example of the desk that I got a few years ago in the description bar. Another question that I got quite a bit is about taxes. As an independent contractor, if you make over between $500 and $600 in a calendar year with any type of work, okay, whether it be surveys, mystery shopping, an independent contractor position, you are considered an independent contractor, a sole proprietor, and you are going to receive a 1099 around tax time. When you receive that 1099, you are to take that 1099 and you are to file that with your taxes. Like, so for me, I receive 1099s and I receive W-2s. So around tax time, I take my 1099s and my W-2s and I file and submit that income to the IRS, okay? If you are owed a refund, any money that you have to pay will simply come from your refund, okay? Now, if you don't receive a refund and you owe the IRS, you are gonna owe the IRS taxes on the money that you made as an independent contractor. You'll find out how much you owe when you do your taxes, or you have a tax professional do your taxes, and you will have to pay them that money, okay? Now, there is a way where you can pay quarterly. I've never done that, but I have heard that you can do that. But yes, that is what you will have to do. You cannot, you know, you cannot just work under the table as an independent contractor. Now, if you do some surveys and you make $200, you're not going to receive a 1099 for that. You can still actually report that on your taxes, but you will be required to pay taxes for the money that you did make as an independent contractor. There's no way around it. If you leave a 1099 out when you do your taxes, that's the same as leaving a W-2 out. It can come back later to haunt you because they know that you made that money, okay? So that is how you do it. I do not go to a tax professional. I do my own taxes. I've never had any trouble. I use tax software. I use TaxSlayer. They're always accurate and everything like that. So it's pretty simple to go ahead and do that. It's not complicated at all, okay? So also another question that I got asked is about insurance. Now, in this case, this is where you have to really decide if working from home is for you, okay? This is mainly something that people that are independent contractors have to deal with. I am married, and so I do have insurance through my spouse's employer, but prior to me being married, I would pay cash for my doctor's visits, okay? And that may sound scary to people, but it's really not. It's really not that expensive, okay? I'll still go get my annual checkup every year and go to the dentist every year, and it probably costs me maybe a total of $600 in a year's time, okay? So, you know, I would just pay cash. Now, if your income is low, you can always go to your local health department and it'll be based off of your income. So you'll pay little to nothing for your doctor's visit or your dental visit, okay? Now, if your income is not low, you will have to do like I did and you will have to pay cash for your doctor's visits. You can also use Care Credit. Care Credit is a credit card that you can use to pay for your medical bills, for the dentist, for your gynecologist, for whatever, okay? So you can use that at any doctor's office or dental office that accepts Care Credit. You just have to make sure that you pay it back, okay? And as far as, you know, your credit limit and all that, that's going to depend on your credit, but you can also use Care Credit. go to the dentist, swipe that card, pay them back, and keep it moving. Okay, so of course you can go and do Obamacare, but that was just not something that I was ever interested in. It was a bit expensive to me. Same companies that offer you insurance through your employers, or if you were employed outside the home in a regular job, you can go through them for insurance as well, and you would just pay a monthly premium just like you do with your regular job. If you have a work from home job where you're an employee, you're gonna have dental and vision and all of that type of insurance. As long as you're full-time, they're gonna offer you that medical and dental and 401k and stuff like that. So that's not really something that you have to really even worry about. And as far as saving for retirement, you can speak with a banker and you can set up how to save money if you want to keep your money saved, you know, in a more professional manner, as you would say. Any suggestions for someone on disability but doesn't have much to no experience? I would say that side hustles are probably a good way for you to earn money. You can do several side hustles at one time that are easy. Surveys, you know, online mystery shops where all you have to do is submit inquiries online, or you can do it via your phone. So different little things like that you can do to earn money, and you don't have to have a whole lot of computer experience. I'll definitely list some of those in the description bar for you as well. Now, how I stay organized is, well, when I'm scoring, that's pretty much all I do. I don't really do videos until the weekends, or mystery shops into the weekends. But when I'm done with scoring, I stay organized by just planning out my day, planning out what I'm gonna do for that day and really for that week. So that's how I do that. Did a video already about all the pros and cons from working from home. I'll put that in the description bar for you guys. I would say that the pros are being able to be here for your family, being able to be hands-on, being able to attend your children's events and not have to beg your employer for time off or hope you get time off, being able to plan your day the way that you want to plan it, being able to have freedom and flexibility, feeling like you're in control of your own life. That's definitely the pros. I would say some of the cons of working from home would be, you know, you're really isolated. So if that's something that bothers you, you know, and you're a people person, you know, it's definitely going to be a con from you working from home. I like being by myself. I mean, I feel like I like it a little bit too much, but, you know, it's not a con to me. But I would say it can be a con, because when I get around a lot of people, unless I really like those people, I'm a little bit like, okay, I'm ready to go. So that could be a con, because it kind of, if you're an introvert, it kind of puts you more into your introverted ways, and that's not good, because you have to socialize and get out and all that stuff. But that can be a con for some. Now, here is another really good question that I got, and it's asking, do I revise or edit my resumes to fit work from home? If so, please give me info. And the person says they're currently looking, but they would like for their resume to be adjusted to this specific type of work, and also what's the best computer to get currently to fit the criteria for most of the work from home employers. Okay, I've already answered the question about the computer. As far as do I revise or edit my resume, I sure do. Probably have about 3 different resumes just to try to fit the different work from home sectors that I may want to go into. If you're trying to get a work from home job, or when you're trying to get any job, you have to really think. You know what I mean? You have to really think. You have to be analytical. You have to pretty much give these companies what they're looking for, you know. So when it comes down to revising or editing my resume, I'll give you guys an exact example of what I did, and it worked. Okay, I've done videos before on a company called Broadpath Healthcare. Okay, they were hiring for like a quality assurance person, and basically all you will be doing is listening to phone calls and just making sure that they follow protocol as far as everything that's supposed to be done on a phone call. Okay, as a mystery shopper, I go to locations and I just make sure that they're following protocol and that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing based off what the client is asking for. Okay, it's pretty much the same thing, but it's called 2 different things. So I edited my resume, which has mystery shopping on it, and I changed the name from mystery shopper to customer service auditor. Okay, And when they saw that on my resume, I was hired for the position. Did I lie? No, I didn't lie. I simply changed the wording of what I did, which is still exactly what I did, and I was able to get a job. And with that position, they were asking for you to have experience in that field and all of that. And technically, I do have experience in that field, okay? So, and if they would have called and they would have asked, does this person monitor customer service behaviors and submit reports in reference to customer service behaviors? And the mystery shopping company would have said yes. Okay, so that's a perfect way to edit your resume to fit what an employer may want and to still get the job. Okay, so it definitely works. All right, so that is something that you can do. You look at the job that you're applying for, you look at some of the wording that they're asking for, and you think about what you have done in your lifetime of work, and you put that on your resume, and it speaks to the employers. It says, okay, this is exactly what we're looking for, and they will call you and they will hire you. Any work from home position that I have applied for, I have gotten. I've never been turned down for any work from home position ever. Okay, so you definitely have to kind of play with your resume and everything to make it attractive to employers. You have to look at their description, you have to look at what they're looking for, and you have to kind of tweak your own resume to fit what they're looking for. And next up is, what advice do you have for someone who doesn't have a customer service background but has an interest in securing work from home customer service jobs? My background is more education based, so I haven't had much luck securing any of the customer service jobs I've applied to in the past, and I'm interested in part-time work to support my small writing and editing business. That's a great question, and I will say that you need to definitely try out Liveops. With Liveops, it does not matter if you have any customer service experience. They don't care, or at least they didn't used to care prior when I was working there. It's an independent contractor position. All you're doing is reading off of a script and you're assisting customers. That's definitely a good way to start. I mean, especially if you're interested in part-time work, Liveops is definitely the way to go. And like I said before, I really don't know why I haven't done a video about Liveops. You can definitely start there. That will definitely be something good for you to start doing. And then once you start with Liveops, and maybe you've been with Liveops for maybe 90 days, you can add that to your resume, and it's pretty much guaranteed that you won't have any issues getting any customer service job after you add that, okay? Because Liveops is definitely a widely known independent contractor work from home company. Okay, so yeah, definitely try them. Someone says trying to work from home is hard, they would really like to, and they get migraines to where they can't leave their house. Yeah, that's definitely a situation to where you would want to work from home. In this case, I would definitely start off with maybe some small side hustles, like some mystery shopping, some maybe over the phone mystery shopping, or online mystery shopping. Bestmark is the main company that has that. You can definitely try them out and just go ahead and get your feet wet as far as like working from home, but not doing anything that's going to be too much on you. Definitely, since you have those migraines, I will go ahead and link Bestmark in the description bar for you. Next up, someone's saying that, you know, they've dumbed down their resume to not include managerial positions in their graduate degree, and they still haven't been able to get any of the entry-level position. You're going to have to switch some of the words around, you know, and play with some of the wording. If they say we're looking for someone who's a self-starter, which most work-from-home companies are going to want to see that you are a self-starter. If you don't have the word self-starter or works well independently in your resume, you need to put that into your resume right now, because that is something that is extremely important to them. Everybody is not built to work from home, and that may be weird, you know, that may sound weird, but everybody is not built to work from home. You have to be a self-starter, and you have to be someone who works well independently. You have to be someone who doesn't need anyone telling them what to do. Everybody's not like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but everybody's not like that. So if you don't have the word self-starter, works well independently with little to no supervision, you need to put that into your resume right now, because that's definitely going to make a big difference, because they don't want people who have to be told what to do and where to go. That's not going to work for companies that are looking for you to work from home. You got to be able to get up and say, this is what I got to do today, and you got to be able to do it. You can't be, you know, they can't have people who, you know, are supposed to be clock in at 10 and don't start till 10:20 because they didn't, you know, it's a work from home position, and they think that you can just be relaxed. It's not like that. So I definitely recommend putting those words into your resume. playing around with the words to appeal to what the companies are looking for, and definitely start with Liveops, even if you just work for them for 2 weeks. Just to put them on your resume to have some customer service experience will definitely help you out a lot. As far as like, even if you needed to, you know, say that you were with Liveops longer than you were, like who are they gonna call? You don't have a boss. So, you know, just do what you gotta do. You know, you're trying to legally feed your family. You do what you gotta do, if you understand what I'm saying, okay? Someone says they've recently been trying to find an at-home job. How do they get started? You're in the right place. You definitely want to get started with a person or with a website that's reliable. Everything is not reliable. There are a lot of reputable work from home websites out here. I'm not going to promote anybody else's business or whatever, but my website, SavvySideHustles.com, definitely reputable. I don't post anything that I don't believe in. I don't post anything that I'm not sure about. Everything that I post is going to be 100% legitimate. Everything may not be super high paying or, you know, or get rich quick or anything like that, but it's going to be real and it's going to be legitimate. So you're definitely in the right place as far as getting started with your work from home job search, okay? Next question is, can you list all the work from home jobs that you've personally done? She also asked about taxes, and I've already explained that. And what remote job did I make the most money ever? Okay, so that's definitely a good question. Now, I will list all of the work from home jobs that I've had. Start off with Liveops. I also worked for a company called Afni, where I was taking calls for Verizon Wireless. I also worked for Hilton. I worked for Amazon, and now currently I work for 2 different scoring companies, okay? And that's what I've been doing for the past few years, and that is where I've made most of my money working from home, because like I said, I do work both jobs at the same time, and so, you know, there's basically double the wages, okay? So that's where I've made the most money. That's what I've mostly done. I started off doing customer service, and I don't like talking to people on the phone or anything like that. So eventually I got out of the customer service. Now I'm out of customer service, and I'll probably stay out of customer service. I don't mind doing maybe chat jobs. So if I see like a chat job that's seasonal and something that I can do, I wouldn't mind doing that. But for the most part, I'm pretty much done with the customer service field. The pay is kind of low in customer service unless you work for like American Express or some of the other companies that I've mentioned. But yeah, the pay is low. It's too much talking to people, and it's just definitely not something that was for me, but it's definitely a good way to first start off when you're starting to work from home, okay? The question is, they were thinking of investing in a new computer to get things started at home. What brand do I recommend? HP, Dell, and Apple. And like I said, I started off with an HP. It took me through pretty much all the jobs that I just mentioned to you guys. It was an HP laptop, really got me through until I got my Mac. Now, keep in mind, if you do have a Mac, you can always have Windows installed on your Mac, and you can pretty much work any work from home position that you want to work. But yes, you are absolutely right. A lot of companies stay away from Apple and are not compatible, but a lot of companies are. A lot of companies will send a computer and a laptop, so you don't even really have to worry about that. Next person asked, do you have any information about work from home jobs in the accounting field? I do not, but I will definitely check into that for you, and I will come back and reply to your comment, reply to your question, letting you know if I do find anything. But no, as of right now, I don't know of any work from home jobs in the accounting field, okay? Next up, she's been trying to find a work from home job and it hasn't been working out. She's been applying, but no one will give her a chance. And she has a 6-month-old and she doesn't want to leave her. That's definitely understandable. I understand 100%. Just going to depend on what you have on your resume. Now, if you're trying to get into customer service, I would definitely suggest Liveops. Definitely start there and just kind of like tweak your resume a little bit and start off with Liveops. Like I said, you only have to pay your background check to get started, and then that's it. You know, all you need with them is, I used my HP computer and I used my headset, and I was good to go. So that's really all you had to do. You do have to have a landline when you're working Liveops though, so definitely keep that in mind. You go over your resume and tweak it and you apply and you still don't get any leads, I would definitely say go ahead and start with Liveops just to get your foot in the door, okay? And the last question is, they're trying to find a work from home job, and one of their biggest challenges is doing resume for work from home. What suggestions do I have on how to do a resume for work from home jobs? Like I said a second ago, You need to go ahead and add that you are a great self-starter. You work well independently with little supervision. That's definitely something that you need to put on the very first job that's on your resume. That needs to be there. I don't care what you were doing, that needs to be there. And if you like really take the time and you look at the qualifications that companies are looking for when it comes down to working from home, they're gonna say that they need people that are good self-starters and that work well independently. So if they say that and then they see that on the first job on your resume, they're going to pay attention to that, okay? Even if your experience is not exactly where they need for it to be, okay? So those are all of the questions. I hope I've answered everybody's questions. If you need any more clarification or anything like that, you know that you can always comment down below. I try to respond to every comment, or at least love every comment, to let you guys know that I did see it. And I appreciate you guys so much for supporting these videos. I will be back with more jobs in a few days. If I see anything between the time that I edit this video, because this is going to be a long video to edit, if I see anything between the time that I edit this video and this video is uploaded, there will be links to the jobs in the description bar. Make sure that you guys checking out my website and that you're subscribed to my website for the latest work from home job leads. And I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.